Hyaline casts are not considered to be pathological, they can be found even physiologically, but RBC casts are a marker of the angry sediment of the urine. What is complete urine examination called as? Poor man's renal biopsy. He can't afford 1,000 rupees for a biopsy kidney. But if you are a good house surgeon, checking the complete urine examination, finding granular casts or RBCs, more than 10 or so, must make you to think of any renal pathology and treat the patient. So, but complete urine examination is most ignored investigation in the ward rounds. So as a house surgeon, you should not. Leg is internally rotated and fixed in adduction. Then is it a true or a apparent shortening is an important question. Basically, the apparent lengthening is what you see when there is a fixed abduction. And an apparent shortening is what you see if there is a fixed adduction. So, whenever there is any apparent shortening, doctor, how do you differentiate that from that of a real shortening? From where to where you take the measurement? Pubic symphysis to that of the medial malleolus, you need to take the measurement on the two sides, and an adducted attitude is underlying cause responsible for the apparent shortening. In a 10-year-old child, age itself will give you the diagnosis, and there is a restriction of motion for which two movements, abduction and internal rotation. What is your underlying diagnosis? Perthes. Perthes is that avascular necrosis of the femur and femoral epiphysis of the femoral head, and it is commonly seen between 3 to 12 years. Our 10-year is falling into that. And there is a hip or groin pain, limp will be there, no history of trauma, and there is a decreased range of motion in the internal rotation, and abduction is a very important clue for diagnosing the Perthes. What is not there at birth, doctor? Mastoid tip is not there. It takes at least 2 years for the mastoid tip to develop, whereas the mastoid anthem is very much there at the birth, but it is not of the adult size. Lateral sinus thrombosis causes everything but not Gredinigo. Gredinigo is a feature in the case of Petrositis is what need to be remembered, and you have otalgia, ipsilateral abducens palsy and otitis media, the combination called the Gredinigo syndrome. Cervical incompetence leads to the second trimester abortions, not first trimester, which are commonly due to the chromosomal abnormalities. First trimester. Second trimester are more of structural abnormalities responsible. Patty's mastectomy generally leads to lymphedema, which is the most discouraging adverse effect is what need to be remembered. What is transvestism? It is wearing the opposite sex clothes. But if a girl wears jeans, do you like to call transvestite? No. There's a purpose for it. Every sexual fantasy has a purpose. So here it is not for attracting any opposite sex or bossing her boss. It is mainly for the sexual gratification that transvestism term comes into picture. So it is more common seen in the case of the men rather than in the case of the women. Now what is a comedone, what is milia, what is nodule? Let us be very sure on the dermatology definitions. Milia is that small superficial keratin cyst with no visible opening, whereas comedones are the ones which have the pores containing keratin plaques and the black tops. Now nimodipine is the calcium channel blocker which has specific affinity for the cerebral circulation. That's the reason we use it in the post cerebrovascular accident. Pimozide belongs to which important group? Pimozide is an antipsychotic used in the case of, it is in the Gillis-Delac-Tourette syndrome. Classically we use it for tics, and it belongs to the diphenyl butyl piperidine group of antipsychotics. And is it a typical or atypical? Typical antipsychotic, typical antipsychotic. And that's the reason all extrapyramidal dirty symptoms which come as the adverse effect with any other typical antipsychotic also occur with the pimozide is what need to be remembered. What is an electromyogram? Nursing question. What is ECG? Kind of question this is. So at least one day you should spend in neurology posting sincerely. Then you will answer this question. I mean, is the nerve stimulated and the muscle contracting we are seeing, or directly patient is crying, oh pain, and then neurologist is poking with a needle and then recording is done? Only on that issue the examiner is asking us. So basically, doctor, it is the physiological properties of the muscles at both the rest and contraction. They are being checked by doing the electromyography. So the electrical source is the muscle membrane potential itself, which is minus 70 millivolts. And a needle electrode is inserted through the skin directly into the muscle, and then potentials are being basically recorded. And why is it important? If I have a weakness of my muscle, it can be because of two reasons. Myopathy, or it can be a neuropathy leading to the muscle dysfunction. To differentiate that in neurology, we do the EMG. So the neuropathies have got, if you check that muscle action potential, the amplitude is twice that of normal, whereas there is a decrease in the duration and amplitude of the action potential if it is due to the myopathy. That is how you differentiate after doing the electromyography. Aluminium toxicity is responsible for the dialysis associated toxicity. Prostate specific antigen is non-specific for the prostatic alone, and both the digital rectal examination and PSA, if you combine, then it is that will increase the specificity, and is what need to be remembered. And the values are very important. 4 to 10 nanograms per ml is only a moderate elevation of PSA. It carries a less specificity. Generally, urologists, how do they interpret the PSA value? High PSA values are more likely to be true values. So it is not just rise, it is a significant quantitative rise which is required for you to diagnose. Then benzodiazepines, what is the classification, doctor, based on the duration? Triazolam is 2 hours, midazolam is 3 hours. Midazolam all of us use as house surgeons, na? In casualty, somebody paraded with seizures, nothing comes. Sister, midazolam is what you cry, and sister will come and give you insulin. So what is the most common cause as a house surgeon if the patient has got seizures, doctor? First thing you want to do? Okay, you will give midazolam, you will put Ryle's tube, if chance is there, intubation, all is fine. So glucose is what you have to be sure. Hypoglycemic seizures are very common in the intensive care setup, which you should not forget. So without checking glucose, you are dosing midazolam ke baad midazolam, finally patient will die out of midazolam. So not due to the, you have not taken care of the glucose. Now, which is that benzodiazepine which is banned because it is considered to be a date raping drug. It is the flunitrazepam, which is 18 to 26 hours. The boyfriend called for a date and then mixed this into the cool drink, and then finally she ended in a rape. That is the flunitrazepam. So benzodiazepines and barbiturates. Pharmacology you have to be doubly sure, doctor. Meckel's diverticulum, very interesting question. The question was on pediatric population or in the adults? Nothing was mentioned, so God knows what it is. Because there is a difference between the most common presentation between the two groups. Many times we discussed this point. The most common presentation adults, let us assume, because it is not there in the pediatrics, 6 questions or 8. So is intestinal obstruction. The second most common presentation is diverticulitis in the case of adults. Whereas if you take the children, it is the bleeding from the intestine most common, then comes the blockage of the intestine, intestinal obstruction. So be happy if you answered lower GI bleed until the results come. So the answer is B actually. Now microalbuminuria, when do you define it, doctor? Between 20 to 200 microgram per minute or 30 to 300 milligrams of the protein in the urine. D-tubocurarin, extraocular muscles are the ones which are highly sensitive to the action of the D-tubocurarin. Sarcocolpoplexy is the management for the vaginal wall prolapse is what need to be remembered. All the prolapse surgeries, Lefort, Purandrase, etc., you must be very sure about on this topic, doctor. Now, which is the agent that does not alter the pH? Sucralfate does not, it is only a coating agent, it does not affect. Can you give sucralfate and also pantocid together? Because for sucralfate to coat it, what is required? That acidic milieu is required, which is already being taken away by your pan. But nurses will not do that. They will give one pan and then another sucral, their job is over. So you must talk all this to your patient. Cold caloric test stimulates what? It stimulates the lateral semicircular canal, that is a horizontal semicircular canal. Hence it is also used in order to evaluate the superior vestibular nerve. After caesarean section, if there is a cyclical hematuria, think about the presence of the vesico-uterine fistula. Now with the vesico-vaginal fistula, there can be hydronephrosis and obstructive uropathy can be developing as one of the complications. And external cephalic version definitely is not contraindicated. It is indicated very much in the case of a breech baby. Whereas the placenta previa, previous caesarean, presence of twins, they are all considered to be the relative contraindications. Brow presentation, it is mentovertical diameter, which is the one which is trying to come out. Then in Dubin-Johnson, do you have any rise of the liver enzymes? Characteristically, liver enzymes are normal, they are not elevated. In the case of the Dubin-Johnson is what you need to fundamentally remember. Then what is the role of the coproporphyrins in the diagnosis of Dubin-Johnson? I was waiting for this question to come, at least the option to come. The ratio of the urinary coproporphyrin 1 and coproporphyrin 3 is typically elevated, which will confirm the diagnosis of Dubin-Johnson. Dubin-Johnson is conjugate or unconjugated, doctor? Conjugated, very good. So Rotor and Dubin-Johnson are conjugate, and Gilbert's and Crigler-Nasser are the unconjugated hyperbilirubinemias. Congenital hyperbilirubinemias, once more, you must be doubly sure for the juniors. And let's go to the next question. Why do you do carotid massage in case of supraventricular tachyarrhythmia, doctor? Why will the patient die if you do carotid massage? You are a young, enthusiastic house surgeon. Vagal stimulation causing bradycardia. But more common mistake. If you have done posting and killed at least a couple of the patients, you will remember. You will be doing, you will say that, see how the rhythm becomes normal when I do carotid massage. Your friend also will do it on the other carotid. So don't do that, is always the rule. And by the time from ICCU, your cardiology DM keeps running and coming. By the time, rhythm becomes normal. I still remember 4 times I called cardiology senior resident, the DM student. Every time he comes, SVT was vanishing because we are doing the massage. So then he said that why don't you open a massage parlor? Because you are too good in doing this, so that you are calling me SVT, I am coming running, and you are not giving me chance to give a adenosine also. So that way. Normal anion gap, why do you see in cholera, doctor? What is anion gap? Sodium plus potassium minus chloride plus bicarbonate. What will happen in cholera? There is a profuse diarrhea. You lose bicarbonate into the stools from the colon. When there is a low bicarbonate, what will happen in the kidneys? There is increased reabsorption of chlorides. So that lead to hyperchloremia. On one side bicarbonate will fall, other side there is a rise of chloride. And hence anion gap will not become increased, or it won't be changed. So normal anion gap due to the hyperchloremic metabolic acidosis because of the increased chloride reabsorption is a feature of any diarrheal state like the cholera is what need to be remembered.